again. Just a little chat to say that as my video episode 14 last week, I mentioned that I had a drum carder arriving, and it actually came the other day. I think it's 2 days ago now, which was Wednesday the 18th of January. And the lady that sent it to me, I bought it from a lady on eBay. It's a brand new one, which she wasn't going to be able to use for her own business, but she sent me some nice dyed fleece to be able to play and do some blending on my carder. So I've got a little video of me doing that, and in fact I've actually just finished filming that this morning, and here is some of the fleece that I've blended together. You see there's a little bit of pink in it and a piece of cream, but it's even got a little bit of silk fibre in there as well. This is one of my little locks, dyed locks, and I've actually done that in the centre of this particular bat. So if I rip it down the centre, you can see there's a little bit of pink in there. So that will be lovely when it comes to actually spinning it. So I'm kind of hoping it will give me a tweedy effect, but we'll have to see when I get down to do a bit of spinning. So I've got quite a few back. These were the locks that I got from the Sandy Community Hub last summer in July, which I'm sort of gradually sort of spinning, well not actually spinning, but blending into my fibre. So that looked really nice, I think. So I'll do a little bit of spinning later and film that for you. And then also I hope to start knitting it up. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. If it comes out as a nice tweedy fleck, then perhaps I could make a little shawl, something like that. I was thinking this morning that I'd like to perhaps do a Shetland lace shawl, the ones that they double up and put over their shoulders in the traditional shawls. That would be really nice. You can do that in any size needle and any thickness of yarn. It doesn't really matter. You can go from the very fine to a bulky yarn to do a Shetland shawl. It doesn't, there is no limitations on that. It's just that you will use the Shetland lace patterns that were traditional to the islands. So I thought I might like to do that. So that might occur using my fleece bats. We will see. A little bit of more news on the green jumper. I have now done the front. That's the fisherman's rib. A fisherman's rib. That's now the front's now done. That was the back. And the interesting thing about the arm shaping here, armhole shaping, is that I did it in a stocking stitch border of about 5 or 6 stitches. And so therefore this is going to match up nicely with the sleeve, which has the same armhole border, but that has emanated from the bottom. And what I did was I saw somebody do this and I thought, oh, I'm going to have a go at that. Is instead of shaping gradually up the arm, I've done it from the cuff to every row, every other row, until say about here on the arm. so that you have a very quick increase, and then it stays, no more increases until you get to shaping the armhole. And plus, therefore, because I'd done the same 6 stitch border of stocking stitch and used a lace increase, which is my favorite increase stitch. That's knit 1, yarn over the needle, and that's it, no decrease stitch afterwards. Then I thought I would carry the stocking stitch border up the sleeve, so when you actually join the sleeve together, you will get the kind of double effect that you're going to get when you join the back and the front to the sleeve. So I thought that might be interesting. And then I was going to finish the neck off, when I actually do get to that point, with a simple rib which I used on the welt turtleneck. So I'll make that into a turtleneck as opposed to a polar neck, because I've got a polar neck, so I thought, right, let's do a turtleneck. So that's on the go. I still haven't got back to my Aran just as yet, but that will come in due course, I'm sure, when I've finished. I think I'll just finish off the fisherman rib top, because I'm almost there. I'm on the second sleeve now, so back and front's done. Yeah, so we're doing all right, so I'm really pleased with that. So I've also been, you may have seen some gloves I had, looking all over the place maybe. You may have seen some gloves I made, but I'm making another set of gloves for a friend, but this time I've introduced a thumb, because the ones I had were thumbless and fingerless. So this time I've added a thumb, and this was made in the same yarn. It was made in Jameson's Shetland Heather, and this colour is Mist, which is a very pretty colour. It's got a bit of heathering in it, pink heather in it. So I've actually got the 2 gloves done, and they just need stitching. And I've also made some little, that was the original colour of my gloves. I've also got the little caps to go over the top. I've done them to go over the top. So this all needs sewing up now. And then to go to my friend when I've finished it. So I quite like little caps on things, because you can take it off and there's your fingers. I'm very much the kind of person that doesn't want to be inhibited by a pair of gloves, because I like, you know, what do you do when you've got your phone? It's like, got to take your glove off to do a message. And I've always been one that gets messages and replies to them pretty quick if I can. So that's the message behind that. But there actually were the design of the glove, particularly this ribbed cuff, and I saw something on the internet, and I thought I could actually, Pinterest actually, I could actually reproduce that myself. So I've gone from, I started here and knitted that way all the way around, and then knitted the seam together. Next time I think I'll probably start with a what do they call those, where you put a thread through the stitches. You don't actually cast on, it's like almost crochet, and you leave the stitches free. I can't remember the name of that, I'll put it up when I find it. Then it's a matter of, there's not a seam, but I quite like the seam. Then I picked up some stitches in the middle here and did some short rows till I got to about here, and then started decreasing for a couple of rows, and then joined it all up from here to here, and then I'll sew along there. I like it. I think it's a nice little design, and I might make a pattern of that. I don't know if you think that's a good idea, if you've got any other ideas. But yes, I do like that. It's quite simple to do. I'll put it on so you can see how I'm doing this. Anyway, I can put my thumb through that at the moment, but it obviously needs sewing down here yet to finish it. But I like the long cuff. And if I've got small hands, so if you've got longer fingers and a longer hand, this is perfect as well. So I would say that's a one size glove, really. So yeah, I think I might do a little pattern of that. That's it. Oh yes, the challenge for 2023, I'd forgotten about that. The biggest challenge for 2023 is to learn German. This is Lincoln Newman's book, and I can't remember the English translation for it already. I think it was wilderness knitting. Yeah, it's got wilderness on it. But I actually bought this on Amazon because I've been looking around for the English version and I just cannot find the English version. I suppose it's there somewhere, perhaps. Lincoln Newman is Norwegian, and also obviously it's been translated into German. But I've always loved the yoke on this. And I've seen many pictures coming through on Instagram of, including a friend that I know of in the Faroe Islands who also made one of these, and for herself, I think. And so I thought, yeah, that's a challenge that I would like to do. So the wonderful thing about this book is it's charted. So when it comes to the actual, and there's some lovely pictures in it. There are some lovely designs in it. I'm not going to show you them because I think you should get the book, even if it's in German. There's some beautiful designs in it, and they're not too, they're quite challenging, but for someone, if you've actually done Fair Isle before, it would be quite a good place to enjoy a bit of freedom, knitting freedom, because particularly this one only uses main colour and 3 other colours. I've got books on the Fair Isle, and I have got books on Scandinavian Fair Isle. You can make your own designs up. But I decided I was going to add this one to my collection of books. Yeah, so as I say, the challenge for that is learning a bit of German and German knitting abbreviations. That's another thing, but you know, it's got a plain body, so you could start off with a plain body. It does give you an indication of how many stitches you need to start the yoke. So if you've got some initial experience, it will be easy enough to follow, I think. I'm saying that because I haven't done it yet, but there you go. Yeah, so now then the part of the challenge is, because I'm learning to spin, as you know, is to make up the card the yarn, card the fleece that I have left. I've got about a quarter of a bag of Cheviot fleece left. I think it's going to be totally enough for this. So I'm going to card up and dye the body, the yarn for the body, and also I only need one each of 150 gram ball of each colour, other colours, to do the design. So I will card up some more fleece and dye an individual colour like I've done before in my crock pot. Why not? Let's use the crock pot. I'm not sure how I am going to do the main colour. I might even do some blending so that I have a tweedy look. So I could do 4 or 5 of the colours together and blend them to make this kind of, you know, this kind of bat, blended bat. Because once they are blended and once you actually spin it, it's not going to be that, you're not going to just get that, it's going to be all blended together. So I don't know, I want to see how this works out first before I make a decision on that. But that's the challenge for 2023. Challenge to card the fleece, dye the fleece, spin the fleece, blend the fleece and knit it into a Scandi the famous actually Scandi Hopi Sweater. A lot of my designs, I think, will reflect a lot of that as I go along. I've been doing a lot more research on Norwegian designers and Norwegian yarns over the past couple of years whilst I've been recovering from my little situation, and yeah, I enjoy doing that. So I've got no little tours for you this week. I'm starting to look through all my photos. I've got thousands of photographs, let's be honest. I'm going to start looking through all my photographs of the Western Isles, because before I came to Orkney 5 years ago, myself and my husband lived in the Outer Hebrides on the Isle of Lewis. So I've got a lot of photographs of my kind of favourite places, particularly down on Harris. Every time we get Luscantire on the TV, my eyes are hooked on it because that's my favourite area. Also, where are the other places? Oh, there's so many places. The Callanish Stones, I have photos of them, and the little Gerenin village, I think it is. I can never eat it. My garlic has decreased. We went to college in Stornoway and learned some beginners Scottish Gaelic, and at the beginning of lockdown we had a little refresher course on the app, which has escaped my mind at the moment, but I'll put a little link up to that. So we did a refresher course on that, but you know, if you don't use it, you lose it, and it's very true. I also like Norwegian. I did, because Orkney belonged to the Norwegian kingdom until, was it the 13th or 14th century, when it was sold to one of the Jameses in Scotland. we belong to Norway, so I always thought it would be interesting to learn Norwegian. And I was speaking to an Orkneysian friend who said to me that she recognised a lot of the Norwegian words when I mentioned them as something that related to the Orkney dialect in a lot of ways. So she recognised some of them. So that's it's quite interesting, isn't it? So the Scottish Gaelic and the Norwegian language is interesting to me because it's blended into the dialects that we have here. Yeah, so I would love to go to Norway one day just to have a little look. That's one of my little on my little wish list. You can fly from Aberdeen to Bergen. Of course, you've got to get from Orkney to Aberdeen, but that's only about 3/4 of an hour at the most by plane. And then, of course, you get off there and transfer over to Bergen. I know that because when I went to Aberdeen for my surgery and my radiotherapy, I would just look up on the departures board and there was Bergen flight. So I know it's there, and I could have got on it at one point. When I went first for my biopsies, I thought to myself, do I have to go for my biopsies? Can I just get on the next plane to Bergen? And there it was, looking at me. It was about 10 something in the morning, but I didn't have a passport at the time. So, yeah. So I've been rambling on today, but if that's the kind of thing you would like, please put that in the comments. Or if you would just like something where I'm doing little videos of what I'm doing instead of me talking about it, then I'm quite happy to do that. In fact, actually, I'm happier to do that than talking, to be fair. It's been a long time since I've talked to a camera for long periods of time. Yeah, so we'll see you again next week with some updates on how I'm getting on, and hopefully you'll get a little video of me spinning this fleece in the next few days or over the weekend, because it's Friday today, so I might do a bit of that over Saturday and Sunday and see how I get on. So thanks for watching. bye.